Hello everyone and welcome back to another Sunny Adventures video. It has been a while since our previous video, but we have not been sitting still. In fact, we are working on quite a big project. That is gonna take a bit longer to show you, but we did have some other project that we wanted to show you in the meantime. So we didn't show you this before, but the rims that we have are aluminum. And the wheel studs that we have were just the old regular ones, and they didn't really fit the thicker aluminum rims. So we also had to adjust and replace actually the wheel studs that we had. Because the studs are a bit old and the holes also are a bit older and reused, it was quite difficult to fit all of them. As you can see, they didn't want to come out easily. But that's a good thing, because you do want them to stay in place when you tighten the bolts. We freshened up the screw threads of the nuts. This way they would easily fit the new studs that we had. The studs for the front wheels actually already had the right length, so we only needed to do the rear wheels. While we were at it, we also adjusted the brake so that it would brake nicely. You can adjust the brakes by using the little gear that you can see in the video. It is possible to adjust the brakes up and down and also expand them a little bit. In this way you can adjust the brakes to your liking. When you are done, you can press the brake pedal and the brakes will auto fit into place. One of the studs actually fitted in a little too loose, so we had to deform that one a bit to make it stuck again into the wheel. But it worked out, and now we can use them properly, and you can also see that the bolts and everything fits now very well. So over the years by now we've gathered quite some stuff from a previous bus, or just because we gathered it somewhere else or found it somewhere else. So we're gonna take a look at it and see what we actually need to keep and what we can throw away by now. For parts of this video we tried out a new Google Pixel phone. We got the chance to borrow this from our good friend Smartphone Man. We'll put the link to his channel in the description. His videos are in Dutch. Can you spot the difference between our usual iPhone and the new Google Pixel?
So here we have a set of those triangle windows that can open. They're at the front of the van. They open like this. We have a pair of those. So we will also install those later on. That's really nice to have, and we still have a lot of other things to do before we get to this. But at least we have them already. They are quite rare. We also have these ones here. These are the covers for the battery. We already have installed one, but we can actually install a second one. And one very important one, I believe, is also in here somewhere. Rod for the indicator light. So we now have a non-original one installed, which is actually a bit too short, which is very annoying if you're actually turning. Then it's a bit too short and you will actually notice that. So we'll install that later on as well. And over here we have all our spray paint. We already used quite a bit of it, but we still have some left. We also need to spray paint a few parts still. Also the rust prevention is in here. So that's this box basically. And then over here we actually have the speakers, but we think those are a bit too big, so we might actually get rid of those. We actually want to integrate it in the interior a bit more. They actually came with the van when we bought it, but yeah, these are like freestanding speakers, we don't like that so much. Perhaps one thing to highlight still is these ones. I looked quite long for those. Yeah, so these are probably called the airflow ventilator air vent outlets, module air vents, I believe they are called. They are placed at roof height in the interior of the van. You can actually steer the direction of the air, left to right and top to bottom. And at least in the Netherlands they are quite hard to find, so I was very happy that I stumbled upon those, or actually stumbled upon those. I was searching for them for a year or so, but I managed to find them, so that's great. We'll install those as well. And then there's a lot of liquids and fluids still. I guess the bulk of it is just really tiny spare parts that we have. Either we already replaced it or we'll do that later on. Probably this is recognizable for you, but like in the end they all end up in a case like this, in a box like this. And yeah, we need to decide what to do with that. So good luck to us. Always, we also ordered some new stuff, which is basically an ongoing process. So we ordered the outlet for the electricity, so we can actually start cooling something and actually have lights and electricity. So that's great, that's on its way. And then in the interior, we also ordered 2 of these lights. So we already have 2. On this side of the van, but we also want to install them on the other side. The holes are already there. We also ordered the actual LED bulbs for inside the lights. So we have nice light which doesn't consume a lot of energy. And these are the windows that I talked about, so we can actually replace those. These cannot open, and we'll replace them later on with the ones that actually can open, just because it's cool. Like these windows can also open, so I don't know if it is that useful, but it's pretty cool if you ask me.
When recording this video, actually the lamps came in that we ordered, so immediately we wanted to try them out in the van. The wiring was a bit more difficult and we need to look at that also for the whole picture of electricity, but for now we'll just test them out. When trying to take out the old lamps, we found out that they break easily, so be careful when you do this. These are the new LED lights that we received, so here we're gonna put them into the lamp. And now let's see if they actually work. We were curious about the difference between the two lights. Here you see it takes 0.8 amperes to light them up. And here we hope to see that these ones take up a little bit less power. And this is actually 0.1, so they are 8 times more efficient than the old ones, which is a win in our book. As you can see, the new ones are quite a bit more white and bright than the old ones. We have to see how that works out in the full van, but we would like to have this as our only light in the van. And that brings us already to the end of this video. We are working on the next video, which will be about installing the roof bed in the pop-top. We are very excited to show you that, but until then, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, bye bye!